Okay. So we put out an open call last spring with Assembly X Opera Beyond. After reading dozens of inspiring applications and ideas about merging art and technology, the 4 finalists of Open Call have been chosen. These finalists are here on this stage, ready to pitch their ideas to all of us. They have also prepared a demo, something that actually shows how they envision their project to come alive. The finalists will potentially have the opportunity to have their idea come alive on the main stage in this house in 2022 and be a part of the creative process of main stage performance, CIRCOPERA. It's a performance mixing opera, circus, and immersive technology. Are you guys ready for the Opera Beyond final pitch? Okay, while you guys are setting up, I'll just say a few words. The first team on stage is a Vitamin Studio. They are from Valencia, Spain. The Vitamin team is composed of artists and electrical engineers, which allows them to merge their knowledge to explore new fields and mix them to create a unique artistic experience. It's based on real-time visuals, reacting as independent algorithms that rule the entire experience. This means that every performance will create a whole different and unique installation. The artists on stage will be the ones transmitting the data with their movements and choreographies. Put your hands together for Vitamin Studio.
Okay, hello everyone. We are here to present Intangible. My name is Pablo, she is Laura. We also came with Anna and Javi. We are part of Vitamin. Vitamin, as she said, is a multidisciplinary creative studio based in Valencia, Spain. Our main goal is to transform ideas into unique interactive experiences.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, it's an honor to be here and part of this amazing project. Thank you, Assembly, Opera Beyond, and Telia for having us. Let's begin. The majority of our projects have one thing in common, and that is our passion for mixing art and technology into generating outer world spaces where the main characters are the same spectators. This time, it's not the exception. Let's talk about audiovisual and magic. Let's talk about special effects. Intangible uses 3 main multimedia tools. First, we have the transparent screen that will be on stage. With it, it's possible to make a person disappear and appear, to make them fly, and to mix them with digital elements without noticing the difference. It's all about lights and shadows. Second, we will have 3D mapping technique. With it, we will generate, transform, and animate the stage, allowing us to fool the spectator's eyes and creating new perspectives. Last, we have real-time visuals. We will simulate natural phenomena into making fluidic and complex visuals. We can summarize our concept in matter, technology, waves, and future. How does movement and music interact together with technology? Well, we'll digitalize the physical elements in order to create a unique and a magical world. Transforming all waves of motion generated by the dancer's movements into 2D and 3D visuals to create evolving scenes and backgrounds. Edward Lorenz once said, "Does the flap of a butterfly in Brazil could set up a tornado in Texas?" Well, here's where our inspiration is born, the butterfly effect. It basically explains that small things matter, that everything is connected and part of a bigger system, and that something happening right now could be the effect of something that happened before, and it could detonate into a future action and behavior. If we perform, let me ask you, if we perform the same choreography with the same music in the same place over and over again, could we generate the different results and evoke different feelings every time among the spectators? Well, with Intangible, it is possible. We will talk about physics and math as a starting point to represent the energy of the music and the dance. Each generated movement or sound wave lifts its energy in an empty space that we perceive as the air. And this energy, it's always there, even if we don't feel it or we don't see it. It's moving across all nature channels. We would represent in an abstract way all these motion waves generated by the artists, making tangible the intangible, creating different scenes each time, generating different sensations between the spectators, determined by the dancer's movement, their speed, their position, and also their timing. Let's talk about the aesthetics. We will represent the waves of energy flowing in space with light flows, flashes, metallic fluids, and dark. About the color palette, in order to keep the expectation, our idea is to maintain the conceptual dynamic, but keep changing up the tones in order in between the numbers plot. For example, using warm light, metallics, and black for more deep scenes, and then changing it up in colors inspired by the light spectrum for more vivid, energetic, and flamboyant scenes. The animated shapes are related with the concept idea of generated matter. As we digitalize the physical world, we will create patterns, starting from the simplest to the most complex forms. Pablo will explain a little bit more about this part.
Yeah. Now I will show some of the real-time visuals we've been working on. All of them are based in what the concept that Laura just explained. I'll use my phone to change the visuals and also have a sensor here where I'll move my hand. I'm not a performer, so sorry about my clumsy movements, okay? Okay, so Intangible starts with delicate particles as a minimum unit of information, moving around independently from each other. These particles acquire new features, which allows them to interact with each other under the laws of the fundamental forces. Artists on a stage could interact with those forces, changing, for example, the gravity, the repulsion, or the attraction of the particles. When evolving to two-dimensional strokes, particles will start working together in order to create coordinated movements. In this stage, they will start to understand the light. This can be expressed as chromatic dispersion. Once the light comes to life, the visible and invisible spectrum is the protagonist, showing different waves and frequencies. It's really important to understand the light before going to a 3D space. Once in 3D space, particles give birth to 3D geometries, growing from more simple to more complex geometries. And at the end, what we have is an infinite tunnel of possibilities. Now, the particles we started at the beginning, now they can create complex shapes and complex backgrounds and complex environments. And now, at last, we would like to show a little teaser about Intangible. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Vitamin
you.
Studio and Intangible.
you.
I'll come and stand here, so you can stand there, so we can see you also in the stream. Okay, so this was the demo of your technology. How would it then work in the actual performance?
Okay, now we have a simple system with a depth sensor in front of us, but then we'll have we just develop a lot of types of tracking systems. So depending on the plot, if they are going to fly, or if the circus, if they're going to move very fast, we have a lot of systems prepared for it. So we will work, technology will be the ones the plot needs. So we will build that.
For now, it's just one simple camera for the actual show. It will be at least 3 Kinect cameras connected, depending on the height of the show, because we figured this could work very good with aerial shows. So and also a cinema camera to capture and to make it a real time. So it will be more complex than one you have seen today.
But you are not going to make the performance fly, even though.
No,
okay,
no,
but they
us.
would be. But they would be able to fly, and you would then use just a multiple of cameras to make it
To
work.
capture
Yeah.
it. To
Okay.
capture it, yes.
And then the performer, they could then still interact with the.
Yeah, and also the real-time visuals, what allows is the changes can be done very fast. So if the performer is not very comfortable with it, we can change it on the fly. So we don't have to render it again and again. So that's very fast in order to change in rehearsals.
They're going to be the ones controlling what we see. We will have a base, a visual base, but they will be the ones creating the plot number and what they are doing with their movements. It's going to be presented with the visuals.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
And then are you going to
Yeah.
assemble this and then the next one? So
Okay,
please do.
thanks. Ya, no sé por qué no me he ido. Ah, no, esto no. Good luck, girls. Oye, muchas gracias, Peña.
Okay. Our next pitching team is Violet Disruption, and they are from London, UK. Their project Feel is an immersive rave opera hosted by an avatar DJ, Violet Disruption. This experience takes audiences through an explosive, liberating, and all-encompassing experience revealing a new future. Violet Disruption is inspired by the collective experiences of ecstasy and rupture shared by audiences of all kinds. Violet is the connecting point of words, raving and opera, movement and music and art and tech. Steph and Amanda, take it away.
Hello, hi. My name is Stephanie Singer,
And my name's Amanda Mayo.
and this is Violet Disruption. I'm the composer, experience designer, and creator.
And I'm the music producer and collaborator.
Let's start with a simple question. What is opera? Could be many things, right? But we're going to say that opera is the diva. And we're going to introduce you to a new kind of diva. She's called Violet Disruption, and she's an avatar DJ bringing the world of opera together with rave. It's inspired by the fact that both of us are classically trained musicians and have experienced that sense of ecstasy when we're embracing classical music to all of its fullness. But it is basically the same type of ecstasy that you can experience in a nightclub, in a rave. And we're really interested in where these two forms can meet. And so we've created Violet Disruption as a vessel for this exploration. We began exploring Violet earlier this year with the Royal Opera House, as well as the National Ballet of Canada and CERT Centre. And we'd be absolutely delighted to bring Violet Disruption to CIRCOPERA. So, how do we plan to work with CIRCOPERA? Like all great divas, she's going to reimagine Queen of the Night. and be the host of CIRCOPERA. That basically means, like a normal host in real life will be, she'll be able to be the glue between all the pieces in CIRCOPERA and hold the piece together.
So what could this actually mean in practice? What we imagine is collaborating with the CIRCOPERA team to integrate Violet throughout the night. She will introduce and close the evening while also hosting an ambient durational installation in the foyer during interval. And today's demo presents a concept for the beginning of the evening. It demonstrates how she can set the tone for CIRCOPERA, and it's designed to lead audiences from the foyer into the auditorium, with the effect being that the audience will feel as if they're entering a futuristic opera house. You can see here how she can build the audience's energy to seamlessly move into the opening piece of CIRCOPERA. Her set will also integrate with the orchestra tuning up, and inspired by the Queen of the Night, she will reverse the roles of a traditional opera, declaring that you, the audience, are the Queen of the Night.
So if we walk it through the journey, it will begin in the foyer space, and Violet's voice will flood the foyer, counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The opera is about to begin. The doors fling open dramatically, of course, somehow magically, and the audiences enter the auditorium where they find the DJ and a vocalist, me, on stage, with motion capture, like facial motion capture in front of my face, a projection screen and an LED light wall on stage. The rave fusion music is already underway. The lights will dim and the projection comes alive with Violet's face. Then, like with all great DJ sets, the set will move and it will increase and then seamlessly transform into the beginning of the first piece of CIRCOPERA, which in this case is the Strauss. So here is our demo. It begins in black. That is the moment where the audience, you have to imagine, are inside of the foyer. But when the visuals begin, that's when you're inside the auditorium.
The opera is about to begin. 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 You are the opera. You are the queen. You are the opera. You are the queen. You are queen. Queen. You are queen tonight. Queen. You are queen for the night. Queen. You are queen for the night. You are queen. Queen. You are queen for the night. Queen. You are queen for the night. Queen. You are queen for the night.
All right. Thank you. So as you can see, there's a lot going on. How is all of this going to work technically? What we propose is developing 30 minutes of pre-recorded animation for the Cirque Opera specifically. This involves pre-making a digital avatar, pre-recorded body motion capture, and choreographed dance and acrobatic movement.
And in terms of the live experience, there'll be live facial motion capture, the voice of Violet Disruption, projection, and an LED light wall.
Across 2022, we will be creating a higher fidelity avatar realization of Violet Disruption. She'll have a face with features and an ever-transforming shape and body. We will continue working with our amazing choreographer, ballet, and contemporary dancer, David Andrew Reed, and the technical team at CIRT Center to capture Violet's physical movements. You can see him here in the live motion capture studio at CIRT Center doing his thing.
Let him finish the pirouette.
Yes.
In terms of the live experience, so I'll be on stage wearing the facial motion capture software. I'll be wearing a iPhone, and through Live Link, this will map my facial expressions and mouth and onto Violet Disruption's face, therefore making it possible for Violet Disruption to respond to different people in the audience and increasing the sense of liveness. We will also have, as you know, a live fusion rave opera DJ set triggered by me and my laptop on stage, and my voice as Violet's. We'll also be making use of the Finnish Opera House's installed ambisonic sound system, so there'll be sound coming from particular places around the auditorium to increase the immersivity for the audience. This is a message from our art director, Gideon Berger, who runs Block 9, and it shares a bit about his experience delivering events of this nature.
Hi, my name's Gideon, and I am part of the Violet Disruption creative team. And an example of how I've approached this before is a project called Icon at Glastonbury Festival, which is the world's largest performing arts festival, of which I run quite a large part of the late night area. The image in front of you now is the stage design for a 15,000 capacity music arena, concept music arena called Icon. And the scenographic treatment for the stage is a giant sculptural object symbolizing us, humanity, hurtling towards destruction. And the structure is video mapped, and the head itself is kind of presented as the host of the arena. The sound system surrounding the head is a sort of a similar sound system to the one that you have at the Finnish Opera House. Every night we staged a show called AV3D, which was based on Olivier Messiaen's Quartet for the End of Time. And the show presents 3D audio bouncing around the space, video mapped content on the skin of the giant head, plus video content set into the visor that you can see behind stage. And the point of telling you all of this is that we successfully stitched together a diverse lineup of avant-garde artists using the sort of those spatial audio assets, lighting design and video mapping in a way that sort of possibly could be done with Violet Disruption for the CIRCOPERA project at the Finnish Opera House.
So finally, we'll talk a bit about our process, because obviously there's a lot that exists and there's a lot that doesn't. So across the next year, we'll involve a lot of collaboration between us and the CIRCOPERA creative team to make sure that everything is integrated, particularly working with the scenic designers and the costume designers to find their voice integrated within the environmental design that Violet finds herself within, the colors selected within the LED light wall design, all the operatic voices, the stimulus material in terms of the operatic and orchestral, as well as the hosting script. Our delivery team brings together people who we come together through our love of raving and classical music and putting on bigger experiences for all of these. And we're across the country and across the world. So why invest in Violet Disruption? Together we could reimagine the future of opera by inviting new audiences to discover the form.
We could have Violet Disruption's debut with the Finnish National Opera.
We could collaborate to realize a bold new concept.
And bridge worlds from opera, technology, art, electronica, and gaming.
We'll leave you with a testimonial from Kate Wyatt, the creative producer at the Linbury Theatre at the Royal Opera House. She says, "The potential for this idea, both as a digital and in-person manifestation, is enticing. By seeing the parallels between opera and rave, the sense of ecstasy and emotional release, possibilities open up to develop form and audience experience supported by evolving technology." Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
disruption. Do you want to stand here so that we can also see you at the stream? Wait, let's formulate a line
Sorry,
here.
yes.
Yes, we could do this. I'm so happy. So where do you see this opera diva going in the future? Where will Violet Disruption go from here?
I guess the exciting bit for me about a composite being is that she can hold many people's bodies and many people's voices. She's kind of like this skin that many people can wear. And like great masks, I think she can unlock that personality of ecstasy and rapture and empowerment in lots of different people and host different people's voices. And that could appear across many digital platforms as well as live. But yeah, ultimately we're creating her operatic experience for next year as well. Yeah.
And then an easier question.
Yeah.
Where will the opera go in 15 years? What's the future for the whole opera?
Oh, simpler question. Yeah, easy. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I think if we think about opera as a form that centers the voice and a form that is bold, that is concept driven, it could go anywhere. And I think that would be the thing to embrace, is the potential of that, rather than to even believe that it was anything to begin with. Maybe it was never set. Maybe it could be, anything.
Okay, thank you so much. Violet Disruption, and then the next team.
Oh, yeah.
Next team is CACAO Cinema from Barcelona, Spain. Do you still need to set up, or can I?
We're setting up? Yeah, we're setting up.
I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute. Okay, so the next team is CACAO Cinema from Barcelona, Spain. They aim to create interactive experiences that merge filmmaking, video games, architecture, technology, and art. They are focused on creating interactive and immersive experiences that combine different languages and technologies. Their project is gaming CIRCOPERA, Let's Play Together, with two main ideas: to bring the video game language in CIRCOPERA and to make the audience interact with the artists so that they can be a part of the play. So please welcome CACAO Cinema.
Good evening. Well, we are CACAO Cinema. I'm Nelson, and I'm here with Conrado and Nel, that they are over there. And our project is the concept gaming CIRCOPERA, let's play together. In our concept, basically, we put the audience onto stage to perform in choreography with the real performers, creating a virtual scenery that enhances the real one. So let's say that it is a journey across the spectator's illusion of being part of the skilled artistic team, becoming an ace at the virtual rehearsal studio, and having fun preparing to be on stage. Well, gaming CIRCOPERA, it's a game. It's an experience in the form of a game that, let's say that we need motivation to play, or we may ask, what are the motivations to play? So let's say that at the same time that we learn about the connect with the story of the narrative of the CIRCOPERA, we achieve goals, we get immersed in the story, we compete, we cooperate with real performers, and basically we have fun. That's the main reason that we all play when we play a game. So when all this gaming that we do returns to the show in the form of a background, a virtual background, that enhances the scenery where the real performers are making their act. So let's say that it's a dialogue that makes the spectacle bigger and transcend the limits of what we already know of the spectacle, when the performers is in this time when the audience jump onto stage and everyone in the room will become a performer. So in that sense, we are narrowing the limits of the spectacle. We raise the boundary of the space and time in the sense of that the experience begins months before the spectacle, while we, through a video game for mobile phones, we start to creating our own avatar, to customize them, to dressing it for the occasion, and rehearsing or practicing our actions in the rehearsal room. And after that, we gain skills to perform during the show. This is a gamification strategy that we use that with a very simple mechanics, people can connect and can use the phone to perform, even in the previous phase and also in the day of the show. So all this process is the user experience where the audience, at the same way that the performers have to train themselves to perform at the best level, well, the audience also needs to perform, to practice a lot, to get the skills and the ability needed to be on stage the day of the show. So the timeline or the workflow, how this is possible is basically, when you purchase a ticket, you are allowed to download an application that is the video game. Through this mini game, you can create your avatar, set it up, and rehearse. That record will give you the opportunity to be on screen the day of the spectacle, and after that, you can stay connected, creating like a community of CIRCOPERA. So this journey experience is composed basically by two elements, the mobile app for the minigame experience and the real-time game. In both cases, the goal is show the abilities on the stage during the spectacle. So the interface of the application is very simple. You basically need to create your avatar and give it a name. The name, it's the way that you will know that it's you being represented on screen the day of the spectacle. Get to know more about the story, the narrative, so you connect in another level. And then go to the rehearsal room. Customize your avatar with the indumentary that it needs to perform, and then essay the different challenges that are presented to gain to the top level. These actions was basically what I already described. Well, when we play a game, we may win, or we may lose. So leads, if you win, you get invited to get another level of the game, and if you lose, you should try again or switch the game. So during the live show, basically the spectator needs the phone to perform because it's the instrument. So a real-time performance will be indicated by the stage, and everyone in the room that wants to play should play at that time. If they don't want to play, it doesn't matter. There is always, it will be an experience, non-repeatable, so the show will be enjoyable. And it's important that the action of using the phone on stage will not distract the people from the scenery, because it's the same that when you switch the channel on TV. You just need to see the screen at that time is the scenery. So basically, this is what's happening. For those who play the game, the performance leads them to a ranking of players. The ranking defines the order or the relevance of the appearance in the stage with the skills that they have gained. And the best performers will have a special number because they will have practiced more for that. And those who haven't played, they will have an avatar that is a preset that will represent them during the show. And at the same point, they have the opportunity to interact in real time, indicated by the stage. So these two worlds, the real world and the virtual world, needs a bridge, needs a connection that links them. So the links, in this case, we're using the music. So through a system that captures the music in real time, we create a virtual background that is reacting to the music to connect the movements of the performers with the virtual avatars. So after that, the audience will live as a performers, engaged and connected with the spectacle on another level, having the opportunity to participate in a one-of-a-kind live gaming CIRCOPERA spectacle, and as a part of the community. And the best performers will have a special acknowledgement, rewards inside the mobile app or in the spectacle. For example, like to know the artistic team of performers, that they can treat themselves as equals. So this is CIRCOPERA. Now we will see a video of how the application works, and after that, a show live of how it's connected. So basically, what we see here is the interface where we create the avatar and give it a personality. Here we customize it to change their mask or the dress, their instrument. And basically the game, this is a very simple game that we designed to make the demo. As we talk about music, the game is to follow the beat of the music. And this is how we look in a sample of the day of the spectacle. And this is right now live, the application running. So we will see in a few seconds a couple of users. Let's wait 1 minute. They are controlled by Conrado. Here we have Conrado. This is over there with her phone. And we should see Nell in a minute. OK, we'll wait. The background, when the music starts, you will see how it reacts to the music. If this microphone will connect it to the app, it will react to my voice, but it's not the case. So I will start. Yeah? Well, we have just one player. So the mechanics of the game is the same. Just by sweeping the finger or tapping the screen, we gain points. The bar, I don't know why, it's not, the music is not, OK. So this is what we call a casual game, a game that people play just for fun, to pass the time, or because they are easy. So if the game is easy, the people connect and then get engaged. It's something like Candy Crush. The bar is the life of the character. When he misses a shot, you will see the red light. That means that they are failing, and the light goes down. And this is a very simple scene. The idea is to create a series of mini games in which all the kind of performance are represented, so the audience can train, and the scenery or the auditorium will be divided with a lot of performers, not just the drummer. And when you win, you dance. Well, this is basically an algorithm itself. It's like a set of instructions to be filled with the narrative of the plot and the audience to play. So let's play together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, CACAO Cinema. My first question is, why should people play?
Yeah, well, people should play to have fun, basically, and because when you play, you connect with the emotion, and if the thing that you are interacting with is something of your interest, you will connect deeper. So this is a way that, in the case of CIRCOPERA, we're breaking the boundaries, because the spectacle normally or usually lasts the 2 hours of the spectacle. But in this case, you will start enjoying the spectacle 2 months before or 3 months before. Then you will connecting, and if the games are being released like randomly, people will stay engaged, knowing more about the plot, and when they go to the opera, it's like they feel part of the crew.
How many people can play together? Now you had like 3 spots, but
Yeah.
what about the audience like this, 300 and something?
Yeah, technically it's possible to put, for example, we are counting in the main stage there are 1,350 people. We know that that's possible to do it. However, we are considering that to make them be part or be seen on the screen, we have to do it like groups by groups. For example, like 10 by 10 or 20 by 20. So in that way, we can cover the whole spectacle without resting protagonism to the performers. They are just like collaborators.
Okay, thank you, CACAO Cinema.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm trying to see if they are ready. If they are ready, they will show me the thumbs up. All right. Okay, our final team is Academic Art Hackers. It's the biggest group. The team is composed of 17 people from Helsinki, Finland, and from Zurich, Switzerland. Their project is called Intergalactic Circus. With this project, they want to arouse feelings of joy and surprise in the audience by making novel combinations of familiar elements of circus and opera, such as animals and visuals and sound effects combined with interaction. They are using technology for drones, which can be applied in a totally new context. Our final team. So put your hands together for Academic Art Hackers.
Welcome to Intergalactic Circus.
We are the Academic Art Hackers. I'm Martin.
My name is Marcus, and we're a pan-European team from Aalto University and the Zurich University of Art. And although you guys only see the two of us on stage, we are actually 17 creative hackers. Let's go to our concept.
Yes, we propose to build our own custom helium drones, basically big balloons which we can solder together and control with the help of a motion capture system which we are install inside the opera and allows us to fly through the stage and the auditorium above the spectators.
Yes, not just stage, but the whole of the hall. And we can have one drone or 30 drones, and we can control them all automatically.
And we also are capable, because we know where these drones are, we can perfectly pixel-perfect map visuals content onto these drones.
And not just on the drones, but also on the performance and also the set elements. So we can absolutely augment whole of the space. And then, it's not just the visuals, but we are also going to bring in immersive microphones that we're going to use with the PA system of the space to create virtual acoustics and truly immersive audio as well.
And additionally, we also have equipped our drones with speakers, which we will soon see. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go into the details.
So since we can build our own helium balloons, we can actually create all sorts of shapes, and we are not limited by our imaginations. And we don't only have to fly them with motors, we actually give them also wing-like or flying-like abilities.
And when we're talking about drones as characters, because we can program them, it's not just about how they look, but how they behave, how they interact and flirt with the actors, for example.
And drones also can actually interact with the actors. In this case, we have a drone hovering above the stage, and we project a live captured face of an actor directly onto the drone, while the drone is actually reacting on the actors that are moving on the stage.
Or think about acrobats making a pyramid, and our drones making exactly a similar one next to them.
Drones can also be used as set elements. So these drones are capable of actually flying in the air with the same battery for hours, and we can slowly move them and create new sets every time the scene is changing.
And because they're so light, they can honestly stay there for 4 hours, guided by the motors and the automation.
And because they are so robustly built, they also are capable of interacting with the audience.
Yes, so there's absolutely no danger whatsoever. And we'll try it with you guys soon. Just wait. We'll get there. And the projection, it is not just about the drones, but we can augment the whole show. So we can project and map the footsteps of the actors, all the different set elements. Or maybe the acrobats are spinning in the air. We can take that fast spin and move that into visualization. We can create digital costumes with these projections. And 3D audio. So we're going to bring in immersive microphones, and we're going to know exactly where they are in space, and where the speakers are. And we can create this kind of an audio loop that we can then create virtual acoustics with. And let's try the drone audio. So
it's not going to bite.
Okay.
But we have an audio system here that is failing. So let's go and move on to the next slide.
So example scene.
Yes. Let's see how such a stage design could evolve over time. Inspired by the musical notation, we build our drones according to notational system and have them flying as notes, hovering above the orchestra, and the projections actually are accent to the melody on them. Then the drones start to slowly move, come closer to the orchestra. Maybe one drone of them starts to flirt with one of the actors, and the drones maybe even start to mimic the acrobats playing on the stage. And then the double bars, maybe objects like this, start to appear on stage, and the performance actually can dance and then interact with them. And finally, we even actually can push them into the audience and let them interact with them. The technical diagram at the center of the whole thing is obviously the tracking system, which allows us to pinpoint the position of each of those elements. We can, with the help of this data, perfectly map and wrap each object with virtual content that can be produced by the Opera and visual creatives. Okay, I kind of hope we're not going to have a fire extinguisher hitting up there. We also can perfectly automate the flying of those drones, and with just one button, the whole show can start.
Okay, because these are all white now, we haven't got the projections here, so let's have a look at a little bit of a teaser video of the stuff that we've done with these. Okay, and as I mentioned, it's 17 of us all together, and we haven't got everybody here, but there are some people here, so please come on stage. So it's not just me and Martin. And then we've got in the images the rest of our team in Zurich and around Helsinki area. And what we want to do is that we want to invite the whole opera personnel to come and collaborate with us. So, because we are academic art hackers, so we've got a little bit of this kind of teaching mentality. So the idea is that we're going to run workshops together with you guys where we design the exact drones that you need, and then we're going to design the projection mappings together, and then we have these kind of knowledge transfer workshops so that the idea is that then it's actually fully your team that in the end can run the whole show. This is us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, academic art hackers. Wow,
please, guys, gather around. Gather around.
It's cool, but it's also a little bit frightening.
We need to make them cute then.
That's true, that's true. So if there would be somebody from, let's say, another theater house or from another opera house, would you be open to have these drones fly in other places as well?
Absolutely. I mean, this whole project is open source, so all of the data, all of the code, all of the The controllers, everything that is there is actually on a GitHub and available for free to download and hack and improve and evolve. So, and we keep on doing this as well. So this is not a closed source project. It is actually open, and we invite everybody to participate on it or use it or appropriate it accordingly.
And we strongly believe, as we've seen like also in the different presentations today, that real-time data and augmenting a show will become a standard in the future. So I believe that every single opera house, every single theater in 10 years will have a motion tracking systems and these sorts of systems in place that can then take advantage of these sorts of technologies.
When will we see these on our music festivals?
So any producers here?
Will they work in open air situations?
No, unfortunately,
No.
probably not, because the motors are not strong enough to fight against the wind. But inside spaces, every time.
And it's health and safety. So we can't make the motors so that if they would hit somebody's finger, it would cut them. So now if you put the finger there, it would hurt, but your finger would not be bleeding.
I think that's a good thing. Let's stick to that. Oh. So let's give big applause to our last team, our hackers. Tonight we shall know who is going to win this grand finale, so please stay for that. Now we're going to break for 25 minutes or so let's be back here and then we can see some demos.